So one of the previous segments we looked at pattern testing and we looked at how to estimate your effective swath. Now we're going to talk about pattern uniformity. It's a little hard to describe out in the field, so we're going to do it on the whiteboard here. So pattern uniformity is how uniform your spray pattern is, and I'll show you why that's important. So when we have a spray pattern, the ideal spray pattern is actually something that looks kind of like this, okay? This is very regular shape, where the drone might fly right down the middle, and then we have, let's say our application rate is 2 gallons per acre, like this. Across this top would be 2 gallons per acre, and then it gradually tails off on either side of that to the left and the right. Now, the way this is important is because we have overlap between swaths. So like this morning, we had about a 20-foot swath. If we had a 20-foot swath here, so that's the center of the drone, and then we come back and we make another application here, this distance would be 20 feet. So this is what it would actually look like in an idealized situation with 2 different spray passes. Now what you do with this is, since this pattern overlaps this other pattern to the right, we can actually take this amount right here, this 75% here, 25% there, and it comes up to this amount right here. We have 50 and 50 right here, so 1 gallon per acre here, 1 gallon per acre there. That brings us up to 2 gallons per acre, such that when those overlap, we get a consistent 2 gallons per acre across that whole field is what we're trying to do, all right? So that's idealized. Like in the field, what actually happens, it's never idealized, it just isn't. We may have this little squiggly like this, and then like that, right? And then our next pass may be kind of like this, and then down. Okay, so in the field, that's actually what it looks like. Natural wind variability, etc. That's what it's actually going to look like. But in the end, what we want is something that when we put it together comes up to about our application rate like that, okay? So there's a term that we use when we're looking at pattern uniformity. It's called coefficient of variation. It's how much variation there is in the spray pattern. So you see here, we have a little bit of variation up and down as we're going to the center and then back down again. So when we look at this overall for the pattern, when we overlap it, we may have, you know, something like this where it's above and beyond our average application rate. Okay, so that when we look at coefficient of variation, we typically want that to be 15% or less. Let's say that we have a CV, coefficient of variation, of 25%. So what that means is if we're shooting for a 2 gallon application rate, it may vary as much as a half a gallon per acre, either above or below that across the field. Okay, so that means we can range anywhere from 1.5 gallons per acre to 2.5 gallons per acre. Now the problem with that is when we're putting out 1.5 gallons per acre, it may not be enough to control our target pest. If we're putting out 2.5 gallons per acre, more than we really want to, it may end up in wasted product. So this is pattern uniformity, and what our target is 15% or less for our coefficient of variation. All right, hopefully that wasn't too much math for you, but that's pattern uniformity and how we measure it.
Well, thank you for watching. We hope you found this video helpful and informative as part of our spray drone training video series. My name is Madison Dixon, and I'm the Associate Director of the Mississippi State University Agricultural Autonomy Institute, and we'd like to take this opportunity to thank our many sponsors who made this video series possible. For more information, please visit arpa.org, rpaaa.org, or the Ag Autonomy Institute website at aai.msstate.edu. Thank you.